Hi, this is Savannah from Scrapintherapy. Now I'm going to create the layout to put my doll. So this is the doll that I started with, and I used this book called Designer Sketchbook. I found it at my local Fry store, which is an electronics store. And it comes with some templates and also some stickers and a lot of these dolls. It comes with the dolls here and then how to color them in. So I went ahead and took a lot of those dolls and I traced them out so that way I can use them to trace it with my light box and then color them in, cut them out, and put them on my projects. So now I need to create, or I want to create, the background for this, where this doll is going to sit. I don't know where I'm going to go yet with this background, but I think I'm going to also use some pattern paper to create a dress for her. But so far, I don't know. That's all that I know what I'm going to do. But other than that, I really don't know. I am going to use some oil pastels that I have. These were from my daughter. So I want to use these and see how it works. I already gessoed my, my handbook or my journal book. This journal book was created with a magazine, and I took two magazine papers, glued them together with gel medium, and then put gesso and taped the spine with just regular tape. So I hope you like this video process, and I'm going to speed up the video and hopefully you like it. So here I'm just putting some wax pastel and just blending it with a makeup sponge. It's not the same as the watercolor crayons, but it's good enough. I mean, it smears pretty nicely as long as you have a gesso surfaced. And then I decided I wanted to create some buildings here because I have that piece of paper there. I was playing with a new embossing folder that I just purchased that has a brick motif, and I decided to use that to create a building. Now, like a goofball, I turned off my video camera because I went to answer the phone, and I forgot to turn it on while I was coloring this beige and doing all the background texture that you see there. So sorry that I kind of cut that off, but basically what I did is I went over it again with my watercolor crayon, and I also used my spray ink. And the background circles that you see there, the white circle, I just took a bubble wrap and I used some acrylic paint, and then I put that on the page to create that background texture. And of course you saw me using all my texture paints, or I mean my texture stamps, and I just stamped the background. So here I'm pulling some papers from Die Cut with a View, the Far East. So I decided to pull those paper and use it to create like a paper piecing my buildings and my rooftop, and also I'm cutting out the windows on my buildings. It was just basically a square, and then I free drew the doors and the windows. And I do that with the same thing with the other square. Now here, because I wanted to create windows, I decided to use text paper to create my windows. And then here, instead of cutting it out, I decided to just cut the book page in squares and just glue that onto my my building, my purple building. And here I'm just free cutting the roof, and then giving texture the roof with my marker. Now this paper had a wonderful little branch with a lantern, so I decided to cut that out. And now I'm just going to glue everything in place, making sure that I try not to overwork the page with my gel medium, because I did use a lot of watercolor in the background, and I did not want to start smearing that watercolor background on the page. So here I want to make sure that I kind of dry my doll very well. Again, I use watercolor to color her in, so I got to be very gentle when I do apply my gel medium on top of her, because I don't want to smear her makeup or all the artwork that I did on her. And again, those leaves that you see there was part of that paper pad the far east from Die Cut with a View. And I'm just making sure I'm drying everything and making sure my paper piecing do not move. So I had to put a little bit of extra glue, real tacky glue, to make sure that the pieces doesn't move underneath, because it's very thick cardstock, and I just want to make sure that it remains flat on my journal page. So here I'm just taking my marker and doing an outline on these branches, and I noticed that when I cut out the branch from the paper, it was a light color purple, so it was not showing as well as what I wanted to show. So I decided to go over it again with my marker, my black marker, and see, just going over it, it really makes it pop. And you can really see the embellishment and the lantern and everything. I really like how it looked after I went over it with my black marker. And then here, of course, I'm going around the edges with my my gelato, my black gelato, just to give it some highlights and some shading. So now that I'm done with the highlights, I decided to go over it with some white Sharpie painter's marker, and it just gives it that nice little shade and makes everything just stand out. So I'm giving one last close look on to my page to see if I need to add anything. I decided that it is complete. So here's a closer look, and I really love how that doll came out, and how actually the whole page came out. I really love the background and my little buildings. It really added interest to the page, and I hope you like it, and thank you for watching. Bye now.